I've got 4 cats, and each one has a different relationship with this nail trimmer. For the most part though, these guys are fairly calm about it nowadays. But believe me, in their early years, it wasn't always the case. So if trimming your cat's nails has ever felt harder than what the internet makes it look, you're probably not doing anything wrong. It turns out this is just a tricky thing to do. A recent study surveying veterinary professionals found that nearly 80% have been injured while trimming cats' nails, and a lot of them just don't like to do it. And these are people who do this multiple times a week. So today I'll show you how I trim for different cats' nails. Now, not every cat needs frequent nail trims, and I don't really follow a calendar. I just wait until the cats tell me. When making biscuits or climbing on my shoulder suddenly becomes a little bit painful, it's probably time. Or when the claws start catching on blankets, shirts, or the couch, that's another sign. So if you're just starting out, don't worry about getting all 18, just keep the front ones under control. At first, this may sound strange. Don't focus on their nails. It's more about teaching your cat that nail trimming isn't a big deal. If you have a kitten, future you will thank you, because before you even touch their paws, get them used to the positioning. Sitting on your lap facing away from you, or on a sofa arm with your arms over them. Make this a normal daily thing. For me, I prefer the lap position, so every day I'd sit my cats on my lap, facing away from me just for a minute or two. No pressure to trim anything, and usually this is best to do when they're a little bit lethargic after a meal or a play session. Just getting them used to be held like that, and slowly introducing paw handling. Touch the paws and press it gently. And eventually you can also show the clippers. That's enough. Again, you don't have to clip anything. If your cat is already an adult, it's exactly the same idea. You just move a little slower. Because one thing a lot of people do is they make nail trimming into an event. 18 nails, 1 sitting, and 1 increasingly unhappy cat. Instead, let's lower the definition of success. That's okay. Maybe 1 paw today and another one tomorrow. And if that's still too much, 1 claw. Seriously, 1 claw, then stop. I'd much rather trim 1 claw every day than fight over 18 every month. And I don't think there's one perfect method. There are just methods that fit different cats. These are the 2 that don't like it, but once you get them in position, they're easy. Trim and done. These 2, they're the most vocal about their suffering, and even to this day there is still some squirming that will sometimes take place. I let them reposition, and if they're really disliking it, trim 1 paw and let them be on their way. But let's say you don't have 3 days. Guests are coming over and you don't want them to be accidentally punctured. Or a nail's already caught on something and you need to deal with it now. 2 things are going to help. Of course, the first one is snacks. A squeezable snack is useful, but a churro in your hand may cost you a hand, or you might need another person. But I have seen some people hold the churro in their mouth while they trim their cat's nails, but I don't think I have that dexterity. So just stick it somewhere instead. On the wall, the side of a fridge, window, anywhere smooth at their height. And now they're facing away from you, relatively occupied, and both of your hands are free to do your thing. The second one is a little bit stranger. Put something on their head. Cat groomers use calming caps or a headband. I just use one of those little foam fruit protectors. This one is from an apple. It just rests gently on top of their head. I've also seen some people use lint roller tape on their heads to some success. And I know how funny that sounds, but the light pressure on top of their head gives them something new to process. Something that reads a little bit like being underneath something. And that's usually enough of a distraction that the nail trimming stops being the main event. One thing about both of these though is that they're distractions, not restraints. They won't calm a cat who's already worked up. So if you're at that point, it's better to stop and come back to it. And that's really the theme of this whole video. Knowing when they're comfortable, knowing when to stop, and knowing what motivates them. Because, as we all know, every cat is different. Some just need a nap, patience, or a little bit of an extra push. And that's okay. Again, you don't need to win every nail trimming session. You just need to make the next one a little easier than the last. If that means one paw, great. If that means one claw, that's okay too. Because a calm cat that lets you trim one claw every few days beats a full wrestling match once every month. And speaking of using food to get 4 cats to cooperate, that's basically feeding time around here every day. I put together how I actually manage that in this next video. I'll see you there.